Hey, welcome to Conversations That Convert. This week's episode, we are going to talk about part two of cold lead reactivation and the art of reviving cold and old leads. Let's get started.
Welcome to Conversations That Convert. Every week, we'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes tackling relevant lead generation, marketing, and sales topics for remodelers, home improvement companies, and home builders. Conversations That Convert is brought to you by Builder Lead Converter, your perfect sales assistant. And now, here's Rick and Diana.
Hi, hello, and welcome.
How you doing today, Diana?
Doing great, thank you. And how about you?
Well, we are coming to everyone here today recorded, not exactly live because we had a conflict here for this Thursday. So if you happen to be watching the recording and you want to let us know that you are here, have a question or comment, and want to leave it for us, just put it in the comments right below. And then if we use it in a future episode, we'll make sure that you get credit for it. So what's new today, Diana?
Well, today we will remind ourselves how can we reactivate the cold leads, and then we will move to part two.
Yeah, we started that last week and really talking about what is cold lead reactivation and essentially, why do we do it? Because the market's so crazy right now. Let's just face it, a lot of us don't have to, we have too many leads or we can't produce the business that we have. But as we know, this is not going to last forever and it's unsustainable right now. And the markets do change. And we're already seeing that maybe a little bit of where, summer came along and things slowed down a little bit. And so we want to look at this as a time tested thing, is where we take a lead that has gone cold or is old that didn't buy, and how do we go back in, refresh that relationship, and try to sell them. So there's really two reasons or what to define cold lead reactivation. Number one is somebody who you started down the path with and then they ghosted you maybe, or they just kind of fell off the grid, and then the other person is a lead that you got but you never really had a chance to connect with. So that's the idea here, is just trying to re-engage these people, reactivate them, and make the sale. And of course, the reason we do it is we want to lower our cost of acquiring leads. Long-term leads have the best profit margins too. We know that, and they also have more opportunity to become a referral. A lot of times, maybe the initial timing isn't quite right, or life gets in the way. And Diana, you were to give us just a couple of keys to reactivating these leads.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to build the trust and confidence, so that when we want to come back to that lead, so that we have that built and can react fast. So I think that's the key, to be prompt and to be consistent and use that and actively build relationship now.
Yep, absolutely. Right now. So even if you hear, oh, we're not going to do anything for a while, you still want to make that good first impression, build trust and confidence so that you have the opportunity to reactivate them later. If you don't do that, you're probably not going to be able to be very successful at this. So with that being said, let's talk about today's topics, which are going to be timing, tools, and types. And I'm going to go ahead and just go through timing. What we generally do here for cold lead reactivation is that from the time the lead comes in, if we don't get a phone call scheduled with them, we will try to reactivate them at 2 weeks, then again at 30 days, again at 60 days, 3.5 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6.5 months, and 7+ months. They're either gonna buy or die. That's what it comes down to. We're not gonna give up. So we will keep every 30 days once we get past about that 30-day window, we're gonna try to reactivate them. So it's just important, you gotta, as we talked about, being consistent with this, because as we mentioned in the first episode, sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes the timing just isn't right. You don't know when the timing is going to change for that lead. So you have to be consistent with your follow-up. Now, as far as the tools of reactivation go, number one, you're going to want to use artificial intelligence for appointment booking. And that's just, it's available right now. We use it with our lead connector tool. And that is, letting the artificial intelligence look at your calendar, have direct conversation with the lead, and just finding out what day works best for them and what time of the day works good for a call. That's just that initial call booked. So this could be 6 months after you met them. You're going through a reactivation campaign. You're just going to let your artificial intelligence reach out to them via text message. And then just if they respond, you book the call. And if they don't respond, you go into the next month and the month after that. So this is not something that really is super hands-on for you. Email nurturing is the next one, and this really comes down to education. And Diana, you're going to talk a little bit about education as in your specific instance of remodeling your home right now and what your contractor did.
I think it's important once the client is it's showing up interest, to just show them samples, or just inviting them to your showroom if you have one, or to just give them more information. And sometimes our prospect needs some technical information, so just listen to them and just offering them email by email some new things to pay attention to and see what they want. And another important thing is to just segment very well your list, so that you know exactly what kind of email you sent to whom. So for example, if someone wants some technical details, so that it's in a separate list than with a general prospect that just wants some information about the next steps or structure or some testimonials. So that's a lot of work, but it's worth it. So just
Yeah, list segmentation happens at the opt-in.
yeah.
So we find out, example, if you're a remodeler, you do, let's say, 5 or 6 core projects. So when that lead opts in, you have them select what type of project they're interested in, and then that nurturing campaign is based on that project. So that's list segmentation. So Diana mentioned about technical advice. So one of the clients we have works in Houston in the oil industry, and they deal with a lot of engineers. So one of the reactivation things that they do is that they will host what we call construction tours. So they bring people on site and they walk them through one of their homes under construction before drywall, even before insulation, so they can see everything that goes behind the walls. And if you're an engineer type, if you're an analytical type, you want to get the technical specs and maybe even talk to some of your representatives there, such as you might have a low voltage person there, electrician there, or insulator there. You know, talk to those people and give them the technical advice they're doing. That's a wonderful way to reactivate people. So nurturing is really all about education. So it's very, very important is that you want to present yourself in your nurturing program as the local expert as it relates to kitchen remodeling, bath remodeling, you know, whatever sort of specialty remodeling or home building that you do, you want to become the local expert. And the nurturing program will position you in that light. So then when the timing is right, and you're trying to reactivate this lead, they're going to look to you as a local expert, and at least give you the opportunity to make the sale. Which leads us to our next type of reactivation, which is events. This is my favorite. We've been doing these for years. We have become experts on events, and that's really all they are, is just a reactivation campaign. And so an event, the most important thing you need to remember from an event is it builds emotional appeal. Emotional appeal. So when the timing does become right again, when the life issues that got in the way are now no longer in the way, an event is a wonderful way to get back in front of your leads. And the best part about it is that you get to showcase something. So maybe it's your showroom, it's your design center, it's a home that you built, it's a remodeling project that you did. Events can be, you know, touring new home sites that are coming online. Anything where it's going to build emotional appeal. So I think that's probably the best type of reactivation is an event. So we're going to end here with the types of reactivation here. And we talked about individual and database. So as far as individual goes, and I'm going to let Diana share some experience that she had too. Individual is all based on interests. So normally there's 3 interests everybody is interested in. Okay. Number 1, they can't visualize, so design. How much is it going to cost? And do you build a home in the location that I want to live in, or will you resurface the area I live in if you're going to do a remodeling project? So those are the main three things. So when it comes to individuals, I mentioned before, when you opt in, you get as much information as possible. You segment then your nurturing. So you're giving them that information that's important to them. That's going to increase your chances of reactivation. And Diana, what do you want to add to that?
Well, I want to add that it's very important to send the personalized message so that the prospect feels that, okay, this message is, it's for me. So you make the client or the prospect, the lead, feel important. So it doesn't matter if it's that's a client or prospect. So you have to have that in mind. So the more personalized you go, and you treat the individual as the most important person in your life, then that's a mindset that can bring you success, and you can really build an authentic relationship with that person.
Authentic relationship. I like that. Yeah, individual is always the most powerful. Um, it is a little bit more work because you have to time everything right and you have to segment your lists. But you can automate most of this with our clients. We automate all of it. So it's not like it's just more work in setting it up. But the other type of reactivation is database reactivation. That's where you're going to go back to all of your leads at once and you're going to give them some sort of an offer. So that's really where events come in. But it can also be you have say a new floor plan you want to show people, you're offering a new product or service, anything like that where you want to make an announcement and then you give them an offer. So again, you look back, is the timing right now? Is the offer compelling enough? Will somebody step forward that you didn't know about before and comes back to life? So with that being said, guys, you got to get on the ball here. You got to start today. We take our 30-day lead and booking challenge and start booking 5 to 10 qualified leads every month without lifting a finger. You guys can do this on our website. You can go ahead and check out our lead connector tool right there, completely free for 30 days, and see how these things work, how the artificial intelligence works with booking, how we do list segmentation, how we go back and personalize all this communication and time it so that you never miss another opportunity. All right, Diana, what's up next week?
Next week, we will talk about why you lost that sale and what to do about it. So, no complaints, no criticism, just see what's there, what are the facts, and what you can do differently.
Exactly. I'm going to put my coaching hat back on and look at common areas of mistakes that salespeople make and what leads to a promising lead falling off and where you lose them to a competitor, or they just don't do anything at all. So until then, thank you so much for your time here today and for my brothers and sisters in Christ. May the fellowship may the fellowship of Jesus be with you, and the love of God and the grace of the Holy Spirit be with you all. We'll see you next time.